All right, so right now what we're going to do is we're going to give you the directions on how to make the seafloor spreading model. This is a model that is going to show us the mid-Atlantic ridge, or the mid-oceanic ridge anyway, and then how subduction zones will happen in real life. But this is a model of that. So you need 3 pieces of paper. So I'm going to go to my, my document camera so that we can see what I'm doing with the paper. In addition to the screen here. And so let me open that up like, not like that, like this. Okay. And so, again, what you need to do this is 3 pieces of paper. So I've got a spiral notebook, so I'm going to tear out 3 pieces of paper here. 1, 2, 3. I need some markers. I need some scissors and some tape. So if you have all that, great. Then you'll be all set. You also might want a ruler because yours will look better if you do it with the ruler. But right before I came on to this Zoom meeting, I couldn't find a ruler, so I'm going to do it without a ruler. But yours will look better if you use a ruler. Okay. So here we go. I got 3 pieces of paper. They're not the prettiest pieces of paper because I was doing an experiment in my regular biology class. You can see it over here. Can you? Yeah, we're soaking tapes in different solutions. But some of the sugar water got in my paper, so that's why that looks the way it does. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to make some bands of paper. So let's see, for the first and second pieces of paper, what I'd like you to do is take that and fold it in half. Okay, that's probably if you do it with me. Or I'm recording this so you could re-watch it after I post it. But Zoom takes sometimes a few hours, sometimes overnight to make the video and then give the teachers the link to put it back on. So I folded it, but I need strips of paper. So if I do this right, what I'm going to get is 4 strips of paper. So now I've got the paper and it's folded right down the middle. So I'm going to cut it in half. I'm going to follow along the line that I made when I folded paper. Okay. So there you go. Now I have 4 strips of paper. I actually need 2 long strips. So what I'm going to do is take the 2 strips and tape them together. It doesn't matter which 2 you tape together, but tape them together fairly good because you're going to pull on them. So I'm going to get a piece of tape and I'm going to tape it all the way across like that. It doesn't have to be blue tape. It could be clear tape also. That will work fine. It just needs to hold together. I wouldn't glue it though. Just a piece of tape will do like that. So now I have up on the other screen, the small screen, I have a long strip. And I'm going to color on this side. Okay. And so make that with your other one. You're going to make a second long strip. So I'm going to get some tape. Like I showed you before, I have some tape wrapped around the marker so I wouldn't have to bring my whole tape dispenser out. And so down here on the big screen, I'm going to, again, take my paper, overlapping it just a little bit, and I'm tape that together. I'm going to color on the other side. What's going to happen is this is going to represent the plates that are going to come out in the mid-oceanic floor. So I've got this side that has tape, and I've got this side over here that has tape. I'm going to put the tape sides out. So when I hold it up like this, I can see tape on that side, and when I flip it, I can see tape on that side also. All right, so for this one, what's going to happen is, let's see, what I want you to do is right here, put that down on your table, and then I'm gonna, well, let's see, I'm gonna open it up like this. Okay, if you watch carefully. I'm gonna open it up, and it's gonna look like this. Okay, and then I'm gonna take a marker, and I'm gonna draw arrows on it. But it's important you draw the arrows the right way. So I'm gonna have an arrow going up, and this is a black arrow going up like that. Okay, I got one on each piece of paper. And if I do it right, those arrows, when I let go of the paper, are gonna be facing each other like that. And they're both going up and they're facing each other. So I want to alternate those, and you can do them in different colors if you want to. That'll make for a nicer model if you want to have a nicer model. Because here at Corona Park, we believe that in STEM education, it's not really STEM education, it's STEAM education. And STEAM is STEM with an A in it, and the A stands for Art Infused Curricula, which means that everything you do can be beautiful. And so there's my brown arrow. It's going down and it's facing each other like that. So I got my black and my brown, and you can alternate colors, or you can do a bunch of, I have a bunch of different colors. So my next one, I'm gonna put a green arrow because I have green here. And I'm gonna go like this, go the other way. What this represents, you guys, is this represents that every once in a while in geologic history, the North Pole and South Pole flip. So at some point in time, sometimes what happens is some catastrophic event happens and the North Pole flips with the South Pole, switches out, and they may not be exactly in the same place. It might be there's the North Pole. Like the North Pole right now isn't exactly where we expect it to be. It's a little bit lopsided, so it's off to the side a little bit. And the same with the South Pole. All right, so I got black, I got brown, I got green, and you can keep going with this, but I'll do one more. Now my next one's going to go down, and it's going to be orange. So this would the arrows represent which way the rocks point to, because the rocks, like, some rocks are magnetic, and so just like a magnet has a North Pole and South Pole, the North and the South Pole, so going to cause the rocks that are magnetic to orient in a certain way, and then it totally flips. So cool with that. I'm gonna do a couple more. I'm gonna do the whole first page. Okay, I'm gonna do up and a up and a down and a down, and then I'm gonna switch to green again. I'm gonna do another up and an up. Okay, so now I've got it. And so if you did it right, what happens is the blacks match up and the browns match up. They're both going down and they're brown. And the greens match up. They're both going up and they're green. And the oranges match up, and so on and so forth. Okay, so that's how that works. I'm going to set this aside. And then what I want you to do is take your third piece of paper and check out the folding on this. Okay, what you're going to do is you're going to fold it in half. Okay, fold it in half that way. And then you're going to fold it in quarters. So fold in quarters that way. And I got a half and a quarter. I also want to take this and fold about an inch over. So enough on my paper, it's going to be the same as 3 lines. Okay, but if you have a ruler, then make it an inch. So, but for me, I'm gonna go 3 lines and then fold it over like that. And now when I unfold it, I folded this in half, and then I fold it in quarters. and then I undid it, and then I folded in from each side about 3 lines worth. Doesn't have to be exact. Okay, so now that I've got it all unfolded, I want to fold on that middle line, folding it hot dog. I sort of fold it hot dog like this. All right. And what I want to do is take the scissors. I want to cut down to this line, this red line, down the middle along the fold. I want to do that there. And then I would do it on the other 2 folds that I already have. So here's the one that's 3 lines from the bottom. And then I had one 3 lines from the top. So just like that. So folding it in half, I have a cut on the bottom. Actually, I have a cut. Yeah, I have a cut on the bottom. There's the cut on the bottom. There's a cut on that halfway fold. And here's the one that's 3 lines from the top. All right. So now you're ready to unfold it. And if you get it right, there's 3 slots now. Here's a slot. Here's a slot. And here's a slot. Now this one right here represents what we call the mid-ocean ridge. So I'm going to go ahead and write that right here. This is the mid-oceanic ridge. Mid-ocean ridge. And it's the same over here. So it's just the mid-ocean ridge. Over here, this is what's called the subduction zone. So I'm going to write subduction zone. Not only is there one on the bottom, but there's one on the top also. So I'm going to write subduction zone. Remember, subduction from your reading is an area where one plate goes under another plate. And you're almost ready to go on this. You're going to take your strip that you've already colored like this. And what you're going to do is, and watch your big screen, you're going to take this and you're going to pass it through the middle like that. You're going to bring it up from the bottom, up the middle. And that represents what happens in the ocean, because what happens in the ocean is here's the ocean floor, looks like that. And then what happens is from the bottom, from the middle of the earth, it comes some magma, and it's going to go in and come out of the bottom of the ocean like that. Now, it doesn't have anywhere to go, so it starts to spread out, and it starts to spread out. Now, this hole obviously would be really hot, because that's where the you know, the contents of the mantle are coming through through that you know, that ridge, that break in the Earth's crust. And then this is going to start to spread out. So as the spreads out, it cools. But then there's still stuff coming out from the bottom. And so what that does is it pushes these other ones over to the side. And eventually what will happen is these guys will start to go underneath the continents. And so that's right there, and that's right there. So what I did was I slipped it underneath to represent the subduction zone, and this plate going underneath the other plate. So we're almost done. What you're going to do is you're going to take this, and on the small screen, it looks like this now. I'm going to take this and tape it to this side. Oops, that right there. I'm going to tape the stuff that's hanging down the middle and match it up and tape it so it's a circle. And we'll do that with the other side. So I need 2 more pieces of tape. And so I got to find that marker that had my tape on it. I got 2 more pieces of tape that I need, which is just the amount that I have left. Woo! So don't mess up. I won't. Okay, so on the screen, I'm going to take this bottom part that's hanging, and I'm going to tape it to this one. Now I have like a ring of paper that's attached to each other. This is really just so I don't lose it, and so the model works a little bit better. But you know what? The crust material does get recycled. It might not be the same exact. Well, it won't be. It won't be the same exact crustal material, but it will get regenerated. So that's how you do that. And then I have to do that one more time over here. So I'm gonna get this, put it back over there because while I was flipping around, it came out. And here's the view from the top. See? And then what I got to do is I got to tape these two together right here. And my last piece of tape. So there I go, right there, and right there. All right. So does it work? That's a pretty good model of it. So if I start from the beginning of where I colored, that was a black arrow, right? Oops, you can't see. Okay, so there it is. Let me start it up at the beginning like I was saying though, because it looks like I already did it. And match up the black arrow with the first black arrow that I made. So that was pretty far away. All right. So this is what it looks like. Here's your model. Here's your model up here. So I did. All right, and as you can see, what's coming out first are those black arrows coming out of the middle crack in the middle of the ocean. But as I pull these to the side, there's the brown arrow that comes out. Hang on. As I pull from the bottom, because remember that whole thing is going underneath the ocean, and you got some brown arrows coming out. And if I pull some more, look, there's green on both sides. So that is a real good analogy of how it works in the bottom of the ocean. And this represents then the oceanic crust at the bottom of the ocean. And this represents the subduction zone where there is where a trench forms. In fact, the deepest part of the ocean is going to be right here where this stuff starts to go down. The deepest part of the ocean is 7 miles down. It's the Marianas Trench in the Pacific Ocean. So now you have the green coming out. And as it comes up some more, because what will happen is it will push up from the bottom, and you can start to see the orange arrows coming out. Ooh, but because there's new material coming out still, it pushes the material back over, and it has to make room for the new material. So there's the brown coming out, and then more stuff comes out. And so there's another brown arrow, but it's going down, which represents magnetic anomaly, a magnetic reversal. And then finally, because I didn't do all the arrows, there's the green arrows, and there's the green arrows right there. To complete this, you can add some more arrows on the second sheet of paper. But I think you probably get the idea, and you can go back and redo just that part, start it all over again from your first arrows, and then use this to answer the questions, not just the ones on the handout, but use this to answer the questions for the whole packet that has to do with C4 spreading. And this is a real good model of what we think happens at the bottom of the ocean from a geological point of view. Cool. Nice job. All right, I'm gonna pause it. So don't worry about, finishing it by the end of the period or anything. But finish it up though by next Tuesday, and then take pictures of what we just did and include those in your C4 spreading activity. This is good stuff. This is what it looks like at the bottom of the ocean. So you just made a model of it. So use that to answer the questions, and I'll expect to see that by next Tuesday. So by Monday night, because I see you next Tuesday. Remember that tomorrow is a school day, but some of your teachers are not having Zoom meetings. I'm not having Zoom meetings tomorrow, but some of your teachers are. So it's not like we have an off day. It's just that some teachers, teachers have been given permission to to make Friday an asynchronous day. So that's what many teachers are doing, and that's why you might not have a Zoom room. If you don't know for sure, go during the beginning, and then if it doesn't happen, then be sure to send your teacher an email so that they can count you here for attendance. Because even though you're not going to Zoom, there has to be some way for you to prove that you were participating in class that day, that Friday. So for me, and it's not you tomorrow because it's an odd day tomorrow, but as we did last week, you would send me a three-sentence paragraph, and then I would count you here. So have a great weekend, and I'll see you next time. Good luck with C4 spreading, and see you later. Okay. All right. Bye now.
Thank you.
Bye.
You're welcome. See ya.
Good day, mister.
Yeah, you too. Bye now.